I was actually born in London, England, and I came over here as a 2-year-old. My father was an upper middle gunner bomber in World War II. And I flew 52 missions over Germany and Italy on night bombing raids.
Well, the date was August the 14th, 1943. The target was Milan. We was attacked by a Junkers 88 twice. We could open fire.
And they couldn't maintain altitude to get back home over the Alps. Basically crash landed in the Sahara Desert and literally made it back to England. They were gone almost 6.5 weeks. My father was very, very good with his hands. He knew how everything operated and worked. His downtime was always in his workshop making something. My mother, she used to sell Avon products door to door. To me, that's always ultimate selling, when you can go in and make that connection with somebody and sell them a product, and you've got 2 seconds to do it. I wanted to be an auto mechanic. I can remember as a kid, I'd actually sit in my bedroom window and watch the cars go by, and I'd have a pad there, and how many Fords went by, how many Chevys, and I'd keep track of it all. So I just always had that interest. I read every single Formula One book that probably had been written before I was 12 years old. Even before I could drive, I would dream about how to drive. My name's Steve Bates, and I've been selling Mack Trucks for well over 40 years. In this day and age, we've been through all these emission levels. We've got electronics. Today's trucks almost got as much electronics as some of the high-end cars have got. You've got to know how everything works and operates, and you got to keep abreast of it. You got to know how all the different suspensions works and operates. When a customer says to you, "What suspension do I need on a truck?" What are you going to say? You have to know. It takes a lot of time to learn and research that knowledge. And I think you've got to do continually homework. Money might motivate somebody for a little bit of time, but it doesn't have any lasting effect. It's not about money. You've got to have the passion.
I'm Corey, and I'm married to Steve Bates. We've been married about 42 years. I think he just loves his job. He loves the product. He loves being involved with people. He loves his customers. Oh yeah, he's got the work ethic, and probably something that he learned from his parents. When they arrived in Canada, they had to work, and they had to work hard. And I think that's instilled in you when you, as a young child, you see that. Your parents strive and don't give up, and I think that's in Steve as well.
I started taking boxing lessons about 18 years ago, and I've been at it for 18 years. You can never watch a boxing match and never figure out who's going to win after the first round. The strategy in boxing is unbelievable. Motivation has got to be 100%. I went back to Ryerson for a 5-year period, and I studied mechanical engineering. And then I went into fleet sales, and that's when I fell in love with selling.
Well, I'm John Costa. I'm Mid-Ontario Truck Center, one of the owners. Why did I hire Steve Bates? Well, why wouldn't I hire him? Just the one thing I'd say. He's got the most knowledgeable person I've ever known. He's a Mack guy. He's been a Mack guy for years, and he knows everything about the product, everything about customers. He knows everything that you need to know about selling trucks. He's just one of the guys that everybody's after. Not just me, trust me. He's well sought after. He's probably one of the guys that's most updated than anybody else I've known, especially with suspensions and what's going on out in the industry right now.
Never really felt it was a job, to tell you the truth. I understood trucks better than any of the other salespeople I was working with. Coming from engineering, it gave me just a great technical background on the truck, how it worked. Like a brake chamber is just not a brake chamber. How does a brake chamber function? Transmissions, Allison transmissions, manual Mack transmissions, Eaton transmissions. Having a good technical background gives you credibility when you walk into a customer. Really, salesmanship starts with listening. You have to be a good listener. You have to listen. The one thing with me is when I do take something up, I jump into it with both feet. I'm so passionate about it, just part of my nature. I like going out in the garage, putting some heat on, turning the tunes up, and working on cars. And even if it's just a Sunday afternoon, just cleaning and waxing the car and detailing the wheels, and I like doing that. And I've always kind of had like a hobby car for a long, long time. I had a 69 Chevelle and kind of traded up. I traded a Saab turbo convertible for the 83 911. That's where the bug bit. I joined the Porsche Car Club of America. They're marvelously engineered cars. I mean, they're designed to be driven. I really like driving the red one. It's considered to be the best handling car that's maybe ever been put on the road or made. Everybody should go to a dealer and try to take a 911 out for a test spin. And if you did that, that answered your question, why Porsche? I really enjoy and have been passionate about selling Macks since the day I really started in 1985. If there's one thing that I really feel is important, you've got to have the passion. You've got to have some passion when you're selling, and I think a customer can see that right on your forehead when you walk in the door.